That's really cool. That's really cool. It's different. It's just different. I've been wanting to use these stones anyway. Flippers. Bendy flippers. Bendies. I want to make another turtle. This is the Let's Resin turtle mold, and I have a link to it in the description below. It is an absolutely amazing little mold. I've used it a lot. It holds from top to bottom, or from top to bottom, or bottom to top, however way you want to say it. It holds 13 ounces. That's a lot of resin. However, if you use a filler for the body, you can use a lot less resin. And something I've been curious about is when you have an inclusion, if it's clear, like I've used these glass beads before, these vase fillers. The problem with that is you end up not even seeing the shape of the beads or really any of the structure because they're clear. And so they just sort of get absorbed, the color gets absorbed in the resin, and you don't really get the benefit of the shape of the glass bead. You just don't get that benefit because they're clear. So we need a inclusion, if I'm making sense, that's solid, that's really opaque and not translucent or transparent like these beads. Now, I've had these polished rocks for a long time, almost threw them out the other day. These are, I think I got these at a thrift store. I think these were just in a vase that I bought for the glass because I really liked the vase. And these were inside of it. There's a little bits of shells, and I have washed these. I just ran these in in the sink. This one's really pretty. But these are just polished. And I ran them in the sink and just washed them really good. Oh, here's a penny. Um, and I'm going to use these to fill my turtle. And I think that's going to be really, really interesting. I am a rock fiend, by the way. This looks like maybe a piece of jasper. There's lots of little rose quartz in here. Really cool little rocks. But I think what I want to use are these. Oh, here's another penny. Are some of these smaller stones. Not ones like this. I want to use these little small pebbles. You could probably get these at like at Lowe's in a bag. I think you could get these. I think they might be aquarium stones. Maybe, I don't know. Look at this one. That's really pretty. But so these are the ones I'm going to use. I'm going to fill it up with the smaller ones. Take out these big honking ones. This one's really pretty. Because I'll use these for something else. Maybe another turtle. That's a really pretty one too. So what's going to happen, the resin's going to be able to, the resin's not going to just overwhelm the color. We'll be able to really, really see the pretty stones. I think this is going to look really cool. That's pretty. I've never tumbled rocks. Well, I did when I was smaller. I did when I was smaller. I had an uncle that gave me a rock tumbler, and I just remember it taking days to polish rocks like this. And a lot of people polish their glass before they make crafts out of them. I don't do that. All right. Take some of the bigger ones out. I don't want the big ones. I want the little ones. Some of these are absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill with resin. And then we're going to see what this turns out to be like. So milliliter wise, let's see, ounces. If I were to fill this only with resin, it needs 13 ounces. And the rocks are going to displace the resin a lot. So I'm thinking I need half of that.
I'm using the Let's Resin casting resin for this project and also the Let's Resin measuring cups, which are really nice because they're marked in both milliliters and ounces. Make sure you stir really well, but not too fast so you don't introduce any extra bubbles that you don't need.
I'm gonna wipe off my stick so that I can use it again. This one might be nearing its end. Now it's got a lot of bubbles in it. I don't really mind that because it's going in this mold. So I'm going to pour slowly, and these are really going to, the shine is really going to come back. So when I was washing these, the shine was absolutely amazing. Let me get you down here a little closer so you can see. Pour slowly. Not really, but, and that's just going to seep down in there. Might have to encourage it a little bit so that we don't get any bubbles underneath. That's what I should have done. I probably should have poured a little bit in there and then put the stones. Sorry about the camera. That's what I should have done. It's okay, it's gonna work. Now maybe I'm gonna put a few more in there because I think that I want it just ahead of, oh, and I don't want it going in the head. Oh goodness. All right, let's see if I can squish those out. I want the head to be clear. Oh man. There we go. I don't want any rocks in his head. I just want the resin. More on top. I think that'll be fine. But I do want resin inside of his head. I just don't want a rock inside of his head. Let that air bubble out. Just to the top. I don't want any resin in his flippers yet. One snuck in there. Okay, at least I don't have any bubbles in it. I think I got it. There may be one to sneak in there. Maybe. We'll see. All right, so I think I can add a few more just to make sure that I have rocks where I want them and not where I don't. And you know what? This may end up looking like an aquarium. I don't know. Maybe not. They're gonna keep slipping in there. Oh my gosh. Well, so be it. I didn't think that through very well. It's okay though. Nothing hurt. Okay, make sure we got them up under his belly flap there. And now we wait. Okay. All right, this has been sitting overnight. It's nice and cured, and I need to add a top coat, which really is the bottom coat, because the turtle is going to be like this, so it's the top. It's going to be the bottom coat, top coat. I don't know. So I've mixed up some resin, and I'm going to color it, and I'm going to go. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be bold. Let's Resin sent me their black epoxy resin pigment paste to try, and I have not tried it yet. So I'm going to color the bottom layer black. Don't know how much I need, so I'm going to add 2 drops at first. Make sure you mix it up really well. Look how black that is. Like, this is going to be really, really good. All right. Wipe off the stick. And wipe it off to use later. Okay. And I'm not wearing gloves because I'm not going to be touching the resin. Okay. And I'm just going to fill the legs first, just to make sure I get the legs. And I just thought about his tail. I really hope the resin got into the tail. Didn't think about that, but that's okay. They're not legs, they're flippers. I'm loving this. Now, in a shallow mold, this is going to be a really smoky color, and I like that. And I probably could add a little bit more pigment and make it a deeper black. But in a deeper pour like this as a top coat, it is just fine. I've added just enough. Okay, I'm going to make sure that I get plenty in there. Okay. Make sure I'm just going to give it a little squish, a squish. Make sure. And set it aside. Okay. I've got a little bit of a blush here, just as the resin cured, it kind of pulled into the middle. So I've got a little extra pigment there in the middle. This is still a little bit soft, but I cannot take it anymore. I need to demold it. So I'm just going to be really careful not to damage this resin in any way. Mold itself, I'm not worried about. So I did over pour a little bit, but like I said, I can fix that. Break his tail. Definitely don't want to break his flippers or her flippers. Don't know. Don't know if it's a boy or a girl. All right. Here we go. Oh my goodness. I think this is going to be spectacular. All right, let's get. Oh, I messed up the tail. That's okay. I'm gonna just pretend that I got the resin inside the little tail. I think I'm just gonna probably Dremel that off. Ooh, see how bendy it is? It'll flatten out though. It's very, very bendy. But I can Dremel that off for sure. It'll flatten out. Okay. There we go. And flipper. Got a little bit of trimming to do around the edges. Just a little bit. Not much at all. A little bubble there. Get the head. See, I was worried about the head because I really did not want the rocks in the head. I wanted clear resin. And see, this just pops right off. And then I'm gonna take my knife. And just really gently. This is a lot easier when it's still soft. That's actually really fine. It's not rough at all. There we go. Okay. Are you ready? Oh yeah, that's really cool. You know, I should have put something in the eyes to make the eyes really pop, but that's really cool. That's really cool. It's different. Like, it's different. Very simple, but I like it. I like the look of it. It's just different. I've been wanting to use these stones anyway on something. Flippers. Bendy flippers. Bendies. That's okay. So the only thing I messed up on was the tail, and I think I will just take a Dremel and just soften that out. And then I should have put something in the eyes. But what do you think? Using the black was really a risk, but I'm glad I did it. I think it turned out fine. I mean, not the brightest color palette, obviously, and not what I normally do, but I think it's pretty cool anyway. So let me know what you think. And I wonder if I should outline the edges of the shell with maybe, I don't know, a black. So I'm going to try adding some eyeballs onto the turtle with UV resin. This is colored UV resin from Lightwish. We'll have a link to that, and my Let's Resin curing lamp, which I love because it's very small, it's portable, and it works really well. So there are little indentations in the mold itself, and you can put something in there to kind of fill that indentation. It's really hard to get to. Really hard to get to. So it's kind of hard to really be able to do that. I can't really get it on camera, but the indentations are there. I can see them. I don't know if you can see them. But they're on the side here. So, and I just forgot in this case, and I totally missed on my last turtle mold, and I had his eyeballs on the front, and it looked so creepy. So I'm just going to use this this colored UV resin, one little dot, and hope I don't have it spread out too much. I think that's going to do great. And you could use UV resin inside the mold before putting your resin in. So I could have done the UV resin for the eyeballs first and then filled it, but I didn't because I forgot. Oh gosh, don't want that bubble.
Bubble, go away. I just want the tiniest bit. And this is such a pretty green. This is going to be perfect. And I almost feel like this is a better plan to add the eyeballs after it's been demolded. That way it doesn't end up looking really, really creepy. I almost feel like he's got a little smile too. It's almost like a little smile. But I think it'll be fine. All right, that worked out great. That worked out great.